Another day, another radical leftist taking lives because this is what they do. I am tired of mincing words. Over the weekend, while the Charlie Kirk memorial was going on, we've got more to talk about with that later. We had not one, but two, including one anti-Charlie Kirk maniac going after the ABC local headquarters. We're going to talk about that, as well as yet another Free Palestine individual who took people's lives, this case, not their own. That makes about, 3 or 4 this year alone. We had the guy who went into Josh Shapiro's home and tried to torch it while his family slept. We had that dork who set himself ablaze. We had the other loser who went after 2 random Jewish people leaving a party. This is, in my opinion, let me be very clear. If you're in America and I hear you proclaim Free Palestine, I am going to treat you no different than someone who's screaming Allahu Akbar or whatever. Okay? In fact, more people's lives have been taken by people proclaiming Free Palestine in the United States than any other phrase. I suppose we could look at the knife guy, the Walmart guy, but I'm not sure I can't remember if anybody didn't survive that. It is a close battle. And if you also include the fact that these Free Palestine people are also the same people who are going into churches and schools and it is time for the words to stop. It is time for Donald Trump to start locking these people up, to start surveilling these people more closely, because this is not a free speech issue. This is a very direct line of people who are with this cause and Antifa and these other loser groups, okay? I was fine with them existing, okay? But they keep having this terrible habit of killing us. It just keeps happening. And while their figureheads, like this moron, David Pakman's like, they didn't lower the temperature at Trump's memorial or at Charlie Kirk's memorial. Huck's not happy about it either. They keep saying, you guys aren't lowering the temperature. Child, please, you guys are killing us. Okay? And then you're telling us to lower the temperature? No, I want to crank it up to a boil. I don't want a little roiling boil. I want that pot about to overflow. I want the temperature raised to give you a little preview of what is facing you in the afterlife. I'm sick and tired of the left saying free speech when really they're just covering for people who are killing us. You may have saw this little blip on the radar about Anibal Hernandez Santana, who is a lawyer in California, who tweeted, "Where is a good heart attack when we need it the most? Please join my thoughts and prayers for the physical demise of our fearful leader." This is what he had to say about Trump. This is what he had to say about Charlie Kirk. I think the word empathy, that made up New Age term, did a lot of damage to Charlie Kirk's carotid artery. Okay? Can we stop saying these people are just using words? By the way, the day after he did this, he went to an ABC headquarters and at 1:30 in the afternoon, and fired 3 rounds into the building while people were in there working. People could have lost their lives. I suspect he wanted that. Anti-Charlie Kirk, anti-Donald Trump, firing into a building where the previous night there was a pathetic 10-person protest over the Jimmy Kimmel firing or temporary layoff, although I don't think he's ever coming back. Can we stop pretending that these people, we need to even talk to these people? Sorry, Charlie. Okay. Look, I will talk to anybody on the left, any liberal. I am talking about these people, the radicalized. You will never change their mind. They have been fed a lifetime of propaganda. They are beyond saving. Only Jesus Christ himself could probably save them. I will talk to a regular liberal. I will talk to even, a very liberal person. But the problem is these liberals are the ones protecting these lunatics. I've got another video later about the Kirk memorial, but look at this guy, David Pakman, right? Okay. The Charlie Kirk funeral is absolutely disgusting, riddled with speeches that only dial up the temperature. Stephen Miller's was particularly vile. My brother in Christ, your side keeps killing us. There's a great meme. I don't want to show it because I just don't want to see any more pictures of it. But essentially, it's like the left and the right. And then Charlie Kirk stands in the middle. He's like, I'm here to bring you guys together. And then he gets whatever happened to him. And then they're like, and then the left's like, you need to lower the temperature, bro. It's like, you don't even know. This is your own side posting. Republicans don't belong in the general population. That was 15 hours ago in the David Pakman subreddit. These people know exactly what they're doing. They're running cover for a wildly radical aspect of their following. They know they're doing it, and they are complicit in doing it, in my opinion. This guy tried to take out people that worked at ABC because they took away his Jimmy Kimmel. Oh, and by the way, he was released just hours later to commit this crime again. Anti-Trump, anti-Charlie Kirk lawyer fired 3 shots in a local ABC news station, KXTV, on Friday. Police say Annabelle Hernandez Santana is facing charges. Who cares? The Daily Mail released an image of Santana and claims that this tweet came from his account. The shooter also comes after ABC News canceled Jimmy Kimmel. Santana was released from custody and is due in court Tuesday. He's never showing up. He's never showing up. Now, he had $200,000 bail, but you only have to pay $20,000 of that. Right? This guy is a lawyer tweeting this kind of stuff about Charlie Kirk, allegedly. If this is him. Not enough for you over the weekend? Well, how about yet another far leftist? This guy went into a New Hampshire country club and yelled "Free Palestine" before taking people out on their wedding day. Investigators are working to determine the shooter's motive. Stop. Can we stop with this, please? Their motives were far left ideology. It's like everybody on X, which I can't even use right now because it's so frustrating to see the primary conversation being the Jews, when instead of it being what it really should be, and that's the far left. So now the right's going to spend the last week and then the subsequent weeks talking about Jewish people and Israel instead of talking about the far left and uniting on this issue, which is far more important. I'm not saying Israel is free of critique. I don't like AIPAC. I don't like any foreign government involvement in our government. I don't like how many people the Israel lobby, how many of our politicians seem to be bought and paid for by them. But now is not the time. And then you might say, Jeremy, but who is funding these trans people? I don't care. All right. I want these people who proclaim to be a part of these groups, these Free Palestine people. All right. We know what you are. You are producing more than just a few of these aggressive, violent, far left radicals. And it's time to stop hiding under free speech, because burning down Josh Shapiro's mansion or going to a wedding and yelling "Free Palestine" and taking people's lives is not a free speech issue. Meanwhile, morons like Jon Stewart, a Jewish guy, is complicit in saying, well, this is all just a free speech issue, guys. It's just a free speech. No, I don't want to infringe anybody's free speech. But if you're yelling "Free Palestine" or "Allah, Allah Akbar," I want some people to pay some attention to you. That's all I'm asking. I don't want our government to, catch and release you from prison. Is that too much to ask? Like, I'm not saying you can't say it. I'm saying you should probably be on a little bit of a list to just see if maybe you're up to something. Maybe we should look into whatever discords you might be in. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for someone who says free Palestine to go to jail. I don't want that. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying the body of work from people who have been proclaiming that is pretty specific. The man who took the life of another man and wounded 2 others yesterday at a wedding in New Hampshire proclaimed free Palestine as the chaos unfolded, a witness told the Associated Press. Tom Bartleson of Pepperell, Massachusetts, told the outlet that he was at a Sky Meadow Country Club in Nashua, New Hampshire, for his nephew's wedding when he heard the individual say, "The children are safe and free Palestine." So he's saying, I'm not going to take any kids. Wow, thank you. Getting together for a dance for the bride and the groom, then all chaos went off. We heard about 6 rounds go off. Everybody ducked for cover, and the next thing you know, we're rushed into safe spots and things like that. The 23-year-old individual is named Hunter Nadeau. He is accused of taking the life of 59-year-old Stephen DeCirce. Authorities say there is no known connection between the two. Probably not. Nadeau is also accused of hitting 2 other people. Authorities did not immediately identify or provide an update. Well, hopefully they're okay. Is this, again, so you get to put free Palestine in the headlines, okay? You get to be David Pakman and be like, guys, can we lower the temperature? While people in my own Discord are saying Republicans don't deserve to be in the general population. I am sick and tired of this. We have to get a hold on it. Like, look, I'm all for worrying about Al Qaeda and ISIS and all these other groups. But how about middle-class white people who are radicalized right here in this country that continue to be covered for by quote-unquote moderate liberals? How about we take a look at them? With Charlie's incident, that's 3 incidents in the last 10 days. That's one every 2 or 3 days right now from the far left. Again, I'm not a big scoreboard guy, but 0 from people on the right. And they are gaslighting us by telling us to turn the temperature down. These people are monsters. And I expect more from our government than just stern words this weekend. I hope they start arresting these people, surveilling these people, and intervening before these crimes happen, not after the fact. I hope you're informed by this video. Stay safe out there. This is The Quartering. Make sure you subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.